over that balance today.
Career high in scoring, as you mentioned, for OMG, 24 points. Timpson with the career high 18 rebounds as well. And as you mentioned, back-to-back double-doubles. Here is Tanaya Latson. Was the freshman of the year last year, national freshman of the year, but could not play in this tournament, got hurt late in the regular season. Timpson with the miss, and here comes Sanaya Rivers, who leads this NC State offense up the court.
5 players in double figures for the Wolfpack, and they've got to show that balance tonight.
It'll be a good matchup with Baldwin and Timpson inside. Sarah Bajetti cheating over a little bit. River uses her left hand, and Snoop Turnage gets the first rebound.
You're going to need pump fakes, ball fakes against a shot blocker, Timpson inside. She is too good on the defensive end.
Makes the extra pass. Latson into Timpson, but she can't finish. Mimi Collins comes up with the rebound.
Sanaya Rivers, not a natural point guard for NC State, but has certainly managed tempo for this team and is electric in the open floor.
And is a terrific defender as well. Rebound for Timpson. Maria Gordon, 5'4" junior guard, fires up her first shot.
And if Florida State goes 1 pass or 0 passes in a dribble, that's not to their best offensive performance. They've got to move the ball like they did yesterday. I thought yesterday's game was one of the best games I've seen them play all year.
I agree. Baldwin, yes, and the foul.
River Baldwin at 6'5", going up against her old team, is going to get face-up position inside. She's going to show hands and numbers to the ball, and she gets the post up on the interior and then uses her frame to go around the shot blocker with an and one opportunity.
For 3 years at Florida State, gets the three-point play. Last foul was on Timpson. Latson with the screen from Timpson, good look, but it rimmed out.
They like to put her in that flare situation off the horns, and she's very good at making decisions from there.
James, a little bit too strong. Latson able to get in front to get the rebound, and then a good challenge by James on the other end.
Because Aziaha James didn't let her get to her right hand. She kept her on the left side of the floor. You got to take something away. You got to take away that right hand.
Rivers with the spin, but she lost the ball. First turnover for State. Gordon got it.
Poor decision, turnover on one end, fuels the transition game of Florida State, Pam. NC State's got to take good care of the ball, take good shots on this end of the floor, because Florida State has excellent team speed.
Maddie Hayes with the miss. Gordon, the smallest player on the floor, certainly one of the fastest. Just able to stick that pivot foot. Turnage doesn't get a lot of offensive opportunities, only averaging 2.5 points a game.
You like there's no whistle so far. No whistle. One whistle, we had one whistle.
Yeah, one foul. Here's Bajetti, she's got Gordon to her left, but she takes it right to James. Sarah Bajetti, who was their best perimeter defender, a 5th-year guard out of Helsinki, Finland, played her freshman year at Arizona State and has made a home in Tallahassee since.
I think Florida State gets their energy from playing downhill. They are straight line drivers, and if you allow them to get a straight line drive, they're going to put you at a deficit on the foul count. They have the ability to get to the bonus early because of the way they push and transition.
Bajetti and the rest of the Florida State Seminoles, second in the league in scoring out of Notre Dame since this tournament started. That's thrown over the head of Timpson, a little miscommunication. Florida State playing its 3rd game in as many days. They had to play and beat Wake Forest on Thursday, upset number 3 seed Syracuse yesterday, and now they have NC State, and they haven't played since Sunday. That's the luxury of the double bye, being in the top 4 during the regular season. Collins buries it.
Mimi Collins has improved her three-point shooting from 21% to 41% on the season. But she went 0 for 2 yesterday.
Yeah, they altered her release point a little bit. Still kind of a funky shot when you look at it, but the results are good when you're hitting 40%.
It's not the release, it's the way she catches the ball with one hand on the bottom and one on top. It's unique.
Gordon, I think, bothered by Baldwin, who got a hand on the second shot. James waits for some reinforcements. Collins turns, shoots, hits.
There she goes. She is streaky. She can get hot. And she is a tough competitor on the inside for NC State. I love her work on the glass. Latson.
25 points yesterday against Syracuse in the quarters, 20 of them in the second half. Got into some foul trouble in the first half. James, there's a whistle. Foul on the play. We're going to take our first timeout.
Look at the skip right here. All the defense in the paint. Mimi Collins, the stretch four, spotting up. And then from
lines, all winners have had a double bye since the format change in 2014. Florida State trying to mess that up. Lowest seed ever to win a tournament, the University of Maryland, and they were a 5 seed back in 1986 when they won in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Dina Tate, Vicky Bullitt, it was 3 years before they got to the Final Four in Tacoma. And now they're in the Big Ten. They beat Ohio State yesterday. Latson left it short. We've had 21 shots total in the first 5 minutes and change, make it 22 as James finishes.
Did Aziaha James remove the headband? Does that mean her game is on?
Yeah,
different game?
She's getting down to business now. First bucket for her.
Good D. Oh, look at Mimi Collins calling for it.
Turns over Turnage. Baldwin able to get the rebound.
Aziaha James telling River Baldwin to post up and then makes the pass over to Rivers. Watch Aziaha James. This is what you call a straight line drive. It's a straight line from one rim to the other.
And Kayla Timpson has just committed her second foul for Florida State and heads to the bench. KK, as she's known, is so important to this team, averaging a double-double, 14.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, and coming off a career-high 18 yesterday against Syracuse, and she's on the bench, having not scored. Gordon, another miss. Rivers to James. Collins very confident early in this game.
She is running the floor hard. She's getting great position, first post down. She beats River Baldwin down. River reverses the ball. Mimi posts up.
Having perhaps the best year of her career. Bajetti missed everything from the outside.
That's not a good shot.
And Bajetti can get hot, but she can also be really, really cold.
You know, I think her offense gets going when she D's up.
At 31 points is a career high earlier this year when she was on quite a tear and was an ACC Player of the Week. 3 straight games with career highs, but sometimes can fall in love with that 3.
Well, sometimes coaches have to take the decision-making process out of the player's hands and run a play for a player like Bajetti so that she can get a shot and get the shot that Brooke wants her to take, not the shot she wants.
Rivers on Gordon, charge!
Oh boy, that's not gonna look good. Did she establish?
All the fans here for NC State are saying OMG, but OMG drew the foul. Gordon.
OMG did draw the foul. Did she obtain and establish? No, she did not. She never got there and turned around and established defensive position, and that's the rule.
Rivers called for the foul. Gordon had to get it out to Bajetti. Wide open for the shot. Right. Florida State cold to start things off here today. 3 of 16 from the floor.
NC State really working the inside game right now. They are scoring points in the paint. Mimi Collins and River Baldwin combining for some nice interior passing.
Nice job by Baldwin to pass out of the double team. James goes around Bajetti. Timeout, Florida State. Quick timeout, NC State up 9. To go up 16-7 over Florida State. Team they beat in overtime in Raleigh in early January. Finally, Florida State's able to break through. Alexis Tucker, UC Santa Barbara transfer.
I mean, just a simple screen on the elbow to create a 15-foot opportunity. Florida State playing some zone.
Mimi Collins is red hot. 11 in the first 9 minutes of this game for Collins. Tucker.
Same play, same set. Not overcoaching it. Good job off the timeout by Brooke Wyckoff's group.
Rivers with that true jump shot.
I mean, it's just a nice use of the River Baldwin screen by Sanaya Rivers to get into the rhythm of the shots that she can make, which is she's very good in the mid-range.
Collins gets it over to Rivers. Latson and Timpson both on the bench right now. Timpson with the 2 personal fouls. Latson getting some rest in the waning seconds of the first quarter. Rivers tried to get it into Baldwin, but Baldwin able to recover. Gordon picked it up, but not in time. And a victory yesterday, big one against Syracuse. And they have won 9 of their last 11 games, losing only to Louisville and Notre Dame in double overtime. You would think they would be comfortably in. Collins, wow, what a game. James with the assist.
What great execution by NC State off the quarter break.
Collins 6 of 8 from the floor. Bajetti, that's a long 3 and she hits it. Bajetti averaging just under 2 threes per game. That's 10th best in the league. Also a very good perimeter defender. Zoe Brooks is in, very talented freshman, number 35. With the nice drive by James.
She's left, and she's going left, and you've got to push her back into the help. She's so quick.
Latson has 1 3, missed that one. So far in the ACC tournament between Duke and Florida State, opponents are just 2 of 20 from 3 against NC State. Did a good job last night against Duke. Florida State 2 for 8 from 3 in this one.
Look at that long reach of Sanaya Rivers that can get in the vision of Latson. Make her pass it.
She made the all-defensive team. And here she comes in transition.
Yeah, so she made a really wise choice right there. Let Zoe Brooks fill the lane.
And then the nifty move to rid herself of Bajetti.
That was a smart heads-up play by Sanaya Rivers. Good help by Collins. Coming off the quarter break, NC State does a great job of executing. Here comes the screen. She's going to come off the screen. Now watch Mimi Collins is going to roll to the bucket. Very well executed. Zoe Brooks stays in the deep corner. No help from the strong side. Nice roll down the lane line. If you roll it down the middle, then the help from the weak side can come. That's really well executed by NC State.
Collins almost outscoring Florida State by herself. Latson has found every move difficult today because of the State defense. Brooks. Snoop Turnage back into the game, grabs the rebound. Latson out of the game. And KK Timpson's going to come back in. She's been sitting for a while with 2 fouls.
Good D by James to get over the top. Then NC State switching with their perimeter.
River Baldwin draws the charge, and only Aziaha James has drawn more on this NC State team.
I mean, you got to appreciate that River Baldwin can have a cup of coffee right here waiting on this charge, right? You have to understand, all season, she's not necessarily looking to block your shot, but she's so good at reading and rotating. At 6'5", you don't see many centers that draw that many charges.
And she turns and misses. In fact, she drew 5 charges in that win against Florida State. That's when she got hurt and then missed a few games. Timpson back in the game. During that time, Florida State was outscored by 9. Latson goes out of bounds.
Lady, you talked about what Michaela Timpson on the bench right now with the 2 fouls. We're now coming back into the game. Well, it's not just what she does on the offensive end, it's how she protects the paint. The last 4 attempts for NC State have been in the paint. They're outscoring them 18-4 in that department. She usually clogs that area up.
Well, with those 3 fouls, you've got to really trust her to put her in. And if I'm NC State, I'm going right at her. She has 2 fouls.
It's at that point, right, when you're down by 12 and you're getting shoot up in the paint, put her in and hope she'll be smart. And Baldwin's got to know she is in foul trouble, took it right to her, and Timpson with the tie-up. Possession arrow points towards the Seminoles. Latson, Gordon, and Timpson, who absolutely annihilated Syracuse last night, pardon me, have missed 14 of their 16 shots so far today.
You know, Syracuse as a 3 seed should be solidly in the NCAA tournament. As a matter of fact, they were being considered as a host team in the top 16, but that probably isn't going to happen now, but they're still in.
Oh, you know what? Timpson just picked up number 3.
17 foul. Entering for the Seminoles, number 22, Satire White.
I'm going to call that a moving screen.
Wow, that's
a tough one.
That's a tough one to pick up your 3rd. Timpson has no points, 4 rebounds in limited action.
I'd say if Mimi Collins still has a hot hand, I'd get her back going again.
And you see Baldwin now with a decisive height advantage over White underneath. Rivers. Here's Gordon. Stop, pop. White gets the rebound, puts it right back up. Baldwin picks up the basketball. State has missed its last 5 shots after a hot start, but Florida State can't score on the other end. Florida State shooting just 22% so far.
Last night in their game against Syracuse, they moved the ball. They got a piece of the paint. They reversed it. They skipped to the other side. They made the extra pass. They're taking a lot of quick shots here today.
One of their best weapons. Latson is on the bench. Another miss, this time by Rivers. Gordon, a little hesitation, then took off again to get the finish.
She might be the smallest player on the floor, but she's got incredible ball skills, and she did a really good job against Syracuse yesterday.
24 points, a new career high yesterday. She had 15 in the regular season matchup at NC State, including 3 threes. Nobody there to board it but Turnage. Gordon had not been healthy last year. Was able to work on her game in the offseason this year because there was no rehab involved, and she has shown just how talented she is. Baldwin. Short. Turnage certainly picking up the rebounding slack with Timpson out.
What happened to the scoring, Pam?
It stopped. It has been mired. State outscoring Florida State. There's 2 states. 6-5 NC State in this quarter, and then Latson shows her mobility.
So you want to keep Latson on the left side of the floor, but you don't want to open up the lane so that she sees the rim. You got to layer up your defense against her because she's so quick and shifty.
Very, very talented player. That's a great look. Brooks to James on the baseline. Gordon right into the teeth of the defense.
Did she shift to the left over there? That was a nice shot.
Very skilled player.
You got to have finishing skills around the rim when you're smaller.
Yes. Rivers working on turnage. Westmore with a call. James to Baldwin, rolls, hits.
Good job by Westmore over there. You saw how stagnant his team was. He didn't want to burn a timeout. He puts them in the horn set, which he knows they will execute.
Latson, 5 points in this game. 2.5 to go. Winner gets Notre Dame tomorrow, 1 Eastern time on ESPN. Don't forget to spring forward with your clocks so you won't be late or early depending on how that affects it. That's it, putting up the sticker, and there's Cassandra Prosper on the left from Montreal. She is hurt. Hannah Hidalgo put a hurting on everybody she's played as Notre Dame with a historic win over top seed Virginia Tech. And they will play the winner of this game tomorrow afternoon. NC State had their string of 3 straight tournament victories broken by Virginia Tech last year. James, great fake. Gordon bid on it. Mimi Collins is all over the place. She and Turnage get tied up.
Collins came ready to play. She has been active on the glass. She's been able to make herself available for shots. Westmore's dialed up her number a couple of times because she has the hot hand.
Her third school started at Tennessee, a couple of years at Maryland, her home state. Aziaha James, no. Hayes couldn't get to the rebound. Crucial time here, right? 10-point advantage. Florida State without KK Timpson available. She is on the bench with 3 fouls. Trying to chip into this lead. Turnage couldn't come up with it.
Horns has worked for them. Well, I've liked this set. They've been able to be productive off it.
James over turnage.
NC State in a really good rhythm offensively right now. I said at break, the 2-minute mark left in this quarter, that it could either be a 16-point lead for NC State or a 4-point deficit for Florida State. That's how important these minutes were, and NC State's taking advantage of it. Watch James right here. This is a beautiful, look how she pushes the ball out in front of her, and then she goes and gets it and gets her feet underneath her to pull into that jump shot. I love it. It's beautifully done.
Has more than doubled her points per game from last year.
Every player that stayed got better under Westmore. They're one of the best stories in the country. Picked to finish 8 in the league, finished number 2. Got ranked as high as number 3 in the country.
They went from unranked all the way into the top 10 in record time. Before the end of November, they were in the top 10.
They had 2 huge wins. As we take a look at the improvement we're talking about, this is a really nice graphic about NC State's player development in the offseason and the system that Westmore runs that allows for balance offensively.
Second game of the year, they beat UConn, and then before November was over, they took care of a Colorado team that's really good and beat LSU to start the season. Got them into the top 10. Brooks. Hayes gives him a second chance, and now they can kill the clock.
Smart.
Aziaha James finishes the half in style for the Wolfpack, who hold Florida State to its fewest first half points all season.
I said a 16-point lead. It's 15, Pam. This is just really nice by Sanaya.
We have to find ways to dig off the right people. We're not communicating what's on the scouting report. They need to be better in that way as well. But you talked about offensively. Debbie, you talked about the balance you needed to see for Florida State today. The one assist, the spacing, the penetration to kick, they have to do better of knowing when to do that.
I like that first possession, Angel. Ball reversal, inside out, paint touch, bucket.
Foul trouble for Michaela Timpson, who had 3 fouls in just 8 minutes, did not score for Florida State, which is a problem. Their second leading scorer at 14.5 points per game. And how about NC State as a team only committed 1 personal foul? That was Sanaya Rivers, 1 personal foul in the first half.
Well, but they have 7 turnovers now. And they got to continue to stay plus on the glass, take care of the basketball, and execute without trying to slow the game down. I think they are best when they accelerate through their options. And the horn set definitely worked for them in the first half.
Winner gets Notre Dame tomorrow in the championship game, 1 Eastern time on ESPN. Game day will be here. Baldwin got it. No, it's a travel, and I think Timpson's heart maybe skipped a beat because there was a whistle, and she was hoping they didn't call her for her 4th foul. There didn't appear to be any contact. It was a travel on Baldwin.
What a great set by Wes Moore to get a wide open look.
26% to 42%. You see the dominance in the paint, rebounding, just about every other aspect for this team as Latson sees it rolls off. Only Notre Dame is averaging more points per game in the league than Florida State. Just under 80 points per game. Coming off an impressive win against Syracuse when their offense really seemed to be clicking.
Back to horns. I think this was their best series in the first half. With multiple options in the middle third of the floor off that set.
Shot clock winding down. Collins short. Turnage, who's done a good job on the boards, gets her 8th of the game. Maria Gordon, career high 24 points yesterday against Syracuse.
I like this Turnage decision. Sprint hard, that's not your shot. Get it to the right person, and this is the right person.
Yeah, Latson is usually the best option, but she's finding a tough go of it. She has missed 9 of her 11 shots. And an offensive foul on the moving screen. It's the 2nd foul on the pack. That's on Baldwin. Florida State trying to get to its 3rd title game. NC State has been to 16 previously. They won 3 in a row. That was broken up last year by Virginia Tech. Notre Dame awaits. Impressive win against top seed Virginia Tech, which really showed the effects of no Liz Kitley.
Look at the sagging man-to-man defense by NC State. They're trying to keep Florida State out of the paint.
Timpson falling away. Draws the foul. And smart play by Timpson, because if you're going to go in or lean in, and River Baldwin's really good at drawing charges, she's got 3 fouls. Smart by Timpson to not do that. Collins picked up the foul. Michaela Timpson, known as KK, gets her first point of the game. 15th in the league in scoring, 3rd in rebounding, averaging a double-double. And this is the first time a Seminole has gotten to the line today.
Brooke Wyckoff, the head coach, wore number 21. It's in the rafters at Florida State. And KK Timpson wanted to wear her coach's number. No, I guess Coach Wyckoff gave her permission. Yeah. Right? You got to ask for that.
Which Brooke would, you know.
Yeah, you got to ask for that.
Quality human being, Brooke Wyckoff. Has been a part of this organization since she hung it up for good from playing professional basketball for a long time. Drafted by Carolyn Peck in the WNBA when Carolyn was the in charge of the late great Orlando Miracle?
Magic.
Magic? No, that's the NBA team. They were the
Miracle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
OMG. Almost got it taken away by Rivers. Mario Gordon. That's her nickname. She's tiny. Turnage not known for her shooting.
I would have a full playbook of Tania Latson right now if I was Florida State, just to try to get them going. You know, open up the floor and let her get some driving lanes, find some driving angles, and she gets a piece of that defensively.
But Collins picked it up. Second offensive rebound was taken away, though, by Bajetti. Nice pass, perfect to Latson.
Their transition game fuels their energy.
But this is what NC State does. They will fuel it right back.
Bajetti lets Latson get ahead of the basketball and does a nice job of putting it on the money. This is a terrific pass, the right time, right on target.
Bajetti has been part of some Finnish national teams. We've talked about this before, a polyglot. She speaks, I think, 6 different languages, something like that, fluently. And almost entirely unaccented English. 14 points now for James.
Sarah Bajetti also just got engaged to a South Carolina men's basketball player, so there's that. Congrats are in order.
Look at you with the scoop.
With the scoop.
Thank you. Bajetti has said that she would like to continue playing basketball back in Europe, perhaps.
South Carolina guys are in a tough game with Mississippi State right now. South Carolina men have been one of their stories in college basketball this season.
Women a big story too.
Oh yeah, they're pretty big.
That's a charge.
River Baldwin again, 6'5". Not many 6'5s do this. Did she obtain legal guarding position? That's the question. That's the way you referee it. You referee the defense.
Angelica Suffren, Karen Priato, Katie Lukonic. Nice ball fake by James to finish.
She is so good, so crafty. Guard play. It's all about guards.
There's some great guards in this league. Bajetti off the rim. Some Hannah Hidalgo, Sonia Citron tomorrow in the championship game with Notre Dame. Against the winner of this one, Rivers. Timpson comes up with the rebound. Gordon backs it out.
NC State trying to ice ball screens, which means keep the ball on one side of the floor. NC State will give Turnage that shot all night.
He's just hitting 29% from distance, 31% overall from the floor. James. I think everybody knows she's going left, right? Left, correct?
She's going left.
Pretty good at it. It's the lead back up to 15.
Bajetti off the flare screen. Nice twist action by Timpson. She sets this up for Bajetti to get a downhill drive. You talk about downhill drivers. We've been saying that about Florida State, but how about Aziaha James? Little ball fake, challenge the shot blocker. The float game is alive for NC State.
Tragically lost in an accidental shooting while she was in high school 4 years ago. 4 days later, she dropped 41 points in the state quarterfinals. If you fast forward 4 years later, she said nothing has changed. It motivated me to play harder. When you're playing for something, it makes you hungry. She got the tattoo of her brother on her back and said, no one has my back more than my brother, and is always playing for him, especially today.
Thank you, Angel. That's quite a story. And Aziaha James on the floor today has scored the last 11 points for NC State going back to the second quarter. And has shown what a special player she is. Great season this year. One of the most improved players in the league. Career highs just across the board. Jetty off the back rim. Hayes couldn't quite save it.
NC State's had a couple of errors like that, like not connecting on an inbounds pass, 3 white jerseys standing there, they don't get the rebound. Those are things they got to clean up a little bit. You got to nitpick it right now. It's March.
And I'm sure Coach Westmore will, right?
He sure will in film.
Has done such a terrific job here. There's a good look at Wes, National Coach of the Year back in 2021. Did great things at Tennessee Chattanooga as well.
Good defense by River Baldwin with a block.
NC State took out Duke last night. James again. This time Hayes knocks it back out. Head fake, ball fake, and that's a charge. Bajetti did a good job of getting in the lane of James, one of her few mistakes today. That is her first foul.
Well, she looks at Hayes and says, my bad, I saw you, I missed you, I should have kicked it.
You gotta love that, right, you two?
I do, she's like, my mistake.
River Baldwin with 10 rebounds. Maddie Hayes has 9, as does Mimi Collins, who was 1 rebound away from a double-double. They've had a lot of chances with Florida State misses.
Without Tania Latson on the floor right now, it's a question about who will score, and I'm looking over the bench, I don't see her right now.
Baldwin inside.
I mean, River Baldwin's percentage of scoring when she catches on the right block is much higher than on the left.
Inside 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Zoe Brooks. McDonald's All-American last year in high school. Top 10 overall recruit. Sky's the limit for her. Bajetti got it inside, and Timpson got it off just in the nick of time to get her 3rd and 4th points of the afternoon. She has missed 7 of 8 shots.
You go into horns. Again, they can put multiple players in this horns action.
Oh, was looking for a cutter. It's Rivers.
River Baldwin on the right block. Look, 2 hard dribbles to the midline, and then she spins over that left shoulder, throws it off the glass, and then Brooks. Every drill you do in practice involves 2 dribbles trying to get to the nail or to the elbow. Defenses are designed to keep you away from those areas. NC State doing a good job of getting there off the bounce.
4 fouls now on Michaela Timpson, who goes to the bench. Rivers at the line. Yesterday against Duke, NC State was 7 of 20 from the free throw line, as we see Latson in the back corridor. And we've been told that she is coming out now. So we saw a shot of her off air in the back. But free throw shooting, much better today, 5 for 5 for the Pack. 7 of 20 yesterday, otherwise they would have run away with that game from Duke.
I mean,
I've never seen a shot of Latson, pardon me.
Never seen a free throw shooting performance like that yesterday, 7 for 20. I don't expect that to happen again, but NC State has 5 times this season shot less than 50% from the line. Latson looks like she's back on the bench. Got that left brace on her knee, that late injury last season that kept her out of the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. There's a hustle play by Madison Hayes, and that's what she's known for.
Alexis Tucker's turn to pick up a foul for Florida State.
You gotta remember, at one point this season, Madison Hayes was the USBWA, which is the United States Basketball Writers Association Player of the Week. It's a national award, so she has certainly contributed to the balance for NC State.
And 5 players, their starters, averaging in double figures.
Big rebound by Rivers.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Florida State has only scored 9 points in this quarter, 9 points in the second, and only 11 in the first. Gotta go. Rivers pulls up, gets it. She's got 6. Rimming out, Nia Rivers and the rest of the Wolfpack.
He's an excellent tactician. I think he does an amazing job of coaching his team. And when he's got his offense in front of him, he's like a 6th player on the offensive end. He really understands scheming, and his players get better. We saw that graphic earlier about how much everyone has improved from last year to this year.
Good save by James. Here's Rivers. Mimi Collins.
That's an example of it right there. Ball goes side to side, it goes inside out. Mimi Collins finishes it inside.
And she's got her double-double, 5th of the season, 8th of her career. Latson back on the court, so good to see. She went back into the dressing room, hits that shot. We've been told by Steve Smith, their sports information director, that she was having her knee checked out. We don't know which one, but the good news is she's back on the floor.
NC State moving the ball against the zone. I mean, great ball fake. And that's going right, Pam.
Yes, James very left-handed, but showing her versatility. Here's Latson.
Good switch by Mimi Collins.
Timpson has found everything difficult today. She's been in foul trouble.
It's one of the things about NC State, because they all are a very similar size when they play with Mimi Collins at the 5. They can switch 1 through 5.
Florida State SID is Steve Stone. I think I called him Smith, sorry. That's my default when I can't remember last name. Steve Stone.
Famous Steve Smith.
Yes, he's the other one, Steve Stone. Brooks with a miss. Sports information directors, where they put a lot of hours in. Maddie Smith is tremendous for NC State. Latson with the miss. And you mentioned the improvement for NC State, and part of that credit not just goes to the coaching staff, but the players who stick it out. You know, some of the players didn't get a lot of playing time in the first year or two, stuck it out, got better, worked hard. Now they're getting rewarded with playing time.
I'd say Aziaha James started the last 8 games of the season last year, and it's a good thing for Westmoore, because you're right, maybe she might not have made it, right? She might have decided she wanted to go somewhere else, but boy, is NC State glad she stayed, and she has been fantastic all season.
And Gordon covered a lot of ground there. There was a held ball.
Mimi Collins is having an afternoon. I mean, she's been terrific right here. Works to get position inside. That's the easiest bucket she's had all game. She started the game hitting some mid-range jumpers, even some threes.
Latson with the bucket. She's up to 11 points. Had a conversation with Latson not too long ago, and she said one of her goals is to be National Player of the Year. She's only a sophomore, but someone who takes a lot of pride in her game and puts a lot of time into it. As the Freshman of the Year last year, had all of her freshman records in the ACC last for all of 1 year, because Hannah Hidalgo came in and stole her thunder.
That's how much talent there is here, but this is the thing, like, well, you can't, hard to simulate the speed and the changeability of Tania Latson. And so when they get into the NCAA tournament and they play teams that maybe don't have the kind of guard play that the ACC sees in every night, It could be an issue. It could help them advance because they have excellent guard play.
6.5 minutes to go. Brooks with the shot clock winding down. Extra pass. Wow. Still worked for Maddie Hayes.
What a different NC State looking team today, right? Same thing for Florida State, though. I thought they played the best that I'd seen them play last night.
This is their third game in as many days. 4-on-1. James with the finish. Since the format changed in 2014, no one has won this tournament without getting a double bye. And it looks like Florida State's going to be going home after this game.
The clock is running down, but Hayes has made herself available on the baseline, and then
NC State celebrating. Their offense has been beautiful, but maybe a little bit too exuberant. Oosh. That's Madison Hayes over on the right, and Aziaha James caught a little bit of the jaw. And they have a lot to celebrate, Deb Antonelli. Look at these numbers.
Yeah, it is a really nice stat line for NC State that they've had this kind of effort on the glass, and then the points in the paint. They started early in the game. River Baldwin drew a few charges. Mimi Collins knocked down some shots. Again, it's the NC State balance.
NC State foul number 22, Sanaya Rivers, her second personal. First Wolfpack team foul of the period.
23 for James, 15 for Collins. That's 38 points. But you know what's really balanced is their rebounding. Latson goes to the line after the Rivers foul. They have 3 players, NC State, with double-digit rebounds. Hayes has 10, Baldwin has 11, and Mimi Collins with 13.
I mean, it's by design for Westmore. They usually have a really good defensive rebounding percentage because they don't play up the line. They don't trap very often on ball screen coverage. In the middle third, it's drop coverage, and that keeps them underneath the offense, which allows them to box out and get the rebound.
Aziaha James has 8 rebounds, so she might join the double-digit rebound club in the last 5.5 minutes. Maddie Cox has checked in, number 11 in white. She is a true freshman from Flower Mound, Texas. Might have heard of her sister, Lauren Cox, who had a very good career over at Baylor.
All-American, national champion.
Playing overseas now. Latson over Cox. Brings good size at 6'2", but looks a little taller to me. Get your, you bring your measuring tape?
I got my tape measure. You know I do.
I don't think Maddie Cox is 6'2". Oh, nice, nice, unselfish Brooks over to Collins. Mimi's got 17. Season and career high 25 at the University of Virginia earlier this year.
You know, I always say it's who you play, when and where that matters. Considering the first time these two teams met, it was an overtime game. 88-80 win by NC State.
Back on January 4th in Raleigh. Cox to Rivers. Everything working for the Wolfpack. They've hit their last 4 shots. Latson just firing away. We will see Florida State in the NCAA tournament. NC State, the number 2 seed, less than 4 minutes away from a matchup with the 4th seed Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who are finishing this season. They're on a roll now, Dave.
Yeah, they're playing well. They've won 7 in a row. NC State won the first meeting between those two teams earlier this year.
Brooks fouled. Buckles, she was taken out of the game. We've gotten an update. They've confirmed, Notre Dame has, that Kylie has a knee injury. Her full status is unknown, but Notre Dame says it is unlikely that Watson will play in tomorrow's championship game, which is terrible news. Notre Dame with a convincing win against Virginia Tech. And if you didn't see it, Liz Kitley was on the bench, and as soon as Watson went down, she buried her head in her hands and started crying.
Yeah, I mean, it was like traumatic to watch somebody else get hurt. When you just got hurt yourself. Not having Kylie Watson will be an issue for Notre Dame somewhat, because River Baldwin at 6'5" is a big wide body inside, and Kylie Watson would have been able to help, you know, manage some of that matchup.
And Notre Dame already with a thin bench. Becky Obinma didn't play today because she has a concussion, so a lot's going to be on Natalie Marshall, or Nat Marshall. And there's River Baldwin, one of the bigs you were talking about for NC State, that could cause problems tomorrow for the Irish.
Well, both teams are very capable of playing small, and both teams have really good guard play.
Let's take a look at our star stories for players that have been crushing it, brought to you by Crush. A lot of choices here today, but let's go with James and Collins.
I mean, really solid. Right from the beginning, James taking what the defense gave her, getting a standing ovation as she departs, helping her team to the finals of the ACC tournament. And then Mimi Collins, wow, what a start. She really launched the Wolfpack early offensively.
Absolutely, and was hitting the boards all day. James leaves just one rebound short of a double-double herself. But Jetty, short. Notre Dame, by the way, and you had mentioned it, they only played NC State once this year. It was in mid-February. NC State won in South Bend 59-43. That is the last game that the Irish have lost.
Yeah, they've been playing their best basketball right now, and it's the right time.
Mallory Collier in the game, number 42 for NC State, freshman from Millington, Tennessee. First time we've seen her. So Wes Moore emptying the bench a little bit with this game now in hand as we look forward to Notre Dame and NC State tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be a good one, Pam. I mean, I think both coaches are at their best when the championship's on the line. And of course, NC State's won one, and Yale Ivy will be looking for her first in the ACC tournament.
First appearance in the finals.
As a head coach.
Yes, assistant, and she did all right when she was a player to win in the ACC. And a big cheer for Lacey Steele. And these players who don't get a lot of playing time score. It's always exciting. So our first game today, Notre Dame beat Virginia Tech 82-53. Only time both semifinals have been decided by at least 25 points way back in 1980 in the AIAW days.
Yeah, that NC State won that championship in 1980. That would have been Kay Yau's first title.
Well, that's a long time, buddy. That's what, 44 years ago?
Yeah.
But
NC State has 7. Kay won 4. Wes has won 3.
Maryland had a lot before they
deserted us. Maryland actually won the national championship under Brenda Freese before they won an ACC tournament title.
That's right. But it has been a surprising Saturday here in the semifinals. Florida State with the upset yesterday of Syracuse, where they looked great, but maybe just not enough left in the tank. But NC State has played brilliantly.
Share the ball, good balance, good acceleration through their sets.
Moving screen, gives the ball back to the Seminoles. It is on Mallory Collier. And it was tough too. Timpson picked up those 2 quick fouls. And then her third soon thereafter when she came back in the ball game. Brooks finishes. But we'll see Tania Latson and company in the NCAA tournament. Charlie Cream says 9 ACC teams will get in. Snoop Turnage. Now, Lizzie Williamson, number 15. She is a grad transfer from Southern Utah via Adelaide, Australia. There you go, Mallory Collier. Inside a minute to go. We'll have a lot of Wolfpack fans making the about an hour-and-a-half trip to Greensboro tomorrow. And now checking in, Jana Ayesa, the true freshman from Cairo, Egypt. Zoe Brooks goes out, standing ovations for Rivers. Ayesa doesn't get a lot of playing time, just 9 games total. There she is, she's from Egypt, wears a hijab when she plays. They'll go crazy if she hits this. Comes from a basketball playing family, her sister also a good ball player. .58 freshman, walked onto this team, has played with a lot of Egyptian national teams, and she's a chemical engineering major.
Smart.
Come on. But that's great. Wes Moore getting everybody in, including Ayesa. Pardon me. Let me get that right. She scored 3 points all year, all against Charlotte. And the Wolfpack faithful rise as one, a dominating performance as they take out Florida State 69-43. We will see them tomorrow, 1 Eastern time, to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, where they will try to win